And DeSantis' opponent and Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam was in South Florida today. Campaigning is kicking into high gear with the all-important primaries just 5 weeks away.
And our very own Jim DeFede spoke to the gubernatorial candidate. He joins us now. Hi, Jim.
Hey, everybody. So with Donald Trump coming to town, one of the issues that's really affecting Adam Putnam is that he was initially the front runner in this race, but now he's trailing. And a lot of people think that it's because Adam Putnam does not have the endorsement of Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis did. So when I sat down with Adam Putnam, I asked him whether or not his previous comments about candidate Donald Trump, where he referred to him as being abhorrent and dishonorable, some of his comments vile and obscene, referring to the Access Hollywood tapes, if some of his criticisms of Trump as a candidate are coming back now to haunt him. Here's what he said.
Well, I support what President Trump is doing as our president. I support his agenda. But I'm focused on a Florida first campaign. And if you want to be governor of Florida, you need to understand Florida. You don't get to call Washington every day to get your instructions. You need to stand on your own 2 feet instead of just dragging along behind the coattails of our president, who has plenty on his plate to make America great again.
Is that what you believe that Ron DeSantis is doing, is riding the president's coattails?
That's all he has. He has no plan. He has no agenda. He has no vision for the future of Florida. He doesn't know the difference between Hialeah and Homestead. I am focused on every community in our state. There is a big difference between the school district in Hillsborough County, one of the largest in America, and the school district in Hamilton County, which only has 2 schools in the entire county. I'm more focused on Washington County than Washington, D.C., and I'm more focused on our St. Petersburg than Russia's St. Petersburg. And I think that ultimately that's what the voters of Florida are looking for as well in their governor.
Do you think Democrats want to run against Ron DeSantis over you?
No question about it.
Do you think Ron DeSantis is easier to beat?
There's no question in my mind that the reason why the liberal media and the Democrats are piling on and trying to influence the Republican primary is because they know who they believe the easier candidate to beat is, and they believe that Ron's easier to beat.
So you don't think, so you don't believe that any of your comments in the past with regard to Donald Trump have any impact on the way Republican voters see you right now?
Republican voters know that I support President Trump's agenda.
I don't think you can underestimate, though, the impact that Donald Trump's announcement or support of Ron DeSantis is having in that race. Putnam did go from being the frontrunner to trailing, and Donald Trump is the reason why.
Jim, let me ask you real quick. What about the issue of the concealed weapons permits that were given out by the Agriculture Department without checking the backgrounds under Adam Putnam? Is that having an impact?
I think that is, too, because that really gets to an issue of competence of government. It's not even so much whether or not he did the right things in office. It's more about whether or not he's able to even manage something. If you can't manage the task of the concealed weapons permits, how are you going to run the entire state? So that's affecting him as well, for sure.
Look forward to your interview, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. And you can watch Jim DeFede's half-hour interview with Republican gubernatorial candidate Adam Putnam on Facing South Florida Sunday morning at 11:30.